Welcome everyone to Blaugrana Planet. Welcome back to a new video. And today I have the pleasure of bringing a very important person at the social level in the sphere of Football Club Barcelona. And that is Marc Duch. Welcome, Marc Duch, to Blaugrana Planet. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you want to say a few words for the fans, probably you have many fans in around the world, but obviously to the subscribers of Blaugrana Planet.
Sure. Thank you for your invitation. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you, Alex. And sounds too great for me, the VIP consideration, but it's okay. So fine for me. And welcome, or thank you to all your fans around the world, which I know they are pretty much of them. I'm pretty diehard fans.
Thank you, Marc. For those who don't know Marc Duch, well, he's a businessman. He's been raised in Barcelona. He's involved in the social sphere of Football Club Barcelona. He's the founder of Manifest Blaugrana, which is an association related to keeping Barcelona pure. And also, he was the spokesman of the main group of socios, which created the vote of no confidence against Bartomeu. That is pretty interesting. And at the end of the day, I see that you have done a lot of things for the club. And speaking privately, he told me this is all about passion. You know, he's a big culé, and he wants to protect the club just as we all do, right? So thank you again, Marc Duch, for joining me. And the reason that I brought you here, that I got in touch with Marc Duch, is because as he's very involved in the social level, we all have seen what happened the other day against Frankfurt in the second leg of the quarterfinals of the Europa League. 30,000 approximately of Frankfurt fans invading the stadium, literally invading the stadiums, and very little Barça fans, right, in comparison to other games. And I know that there is a deep problem. It's not just one day that this happened. It's just not one occasion. This is a problem that has been going on and on. And it seems that it triggered now with all the Frankfurt fans coming. Obviously, there were the holidays involved, and they bought a lot of tickets when there were some restrictions. But I want to hear your version of what do you think happened, right? So there's a lot of tickets being sold to these people, to these Frankfurt fans, and apparently there were some restrictions. Also, we know that maybe the socios have been dealing with their passes. And I just want to hear your version of what happened the other day against Frankfurt.
Yeah, I think what we saw is we could say that it was the final chapter of a movie that we've previously seen many times in Barcelona. We've been around 12, 10 years living these situations in which the stadium is full of tourists or non-socios or people who is not really involved in FC Barcelona or people who was not really at all Barca fan, and which is not bad, of course, but it reaches a point where there are much more tourists or non-Barca fans than Barca fans in the stadium, and that was the case last Thursday. It was the perfect storm, they say, because it was holidays in Barcelona. It was an Europa League match, which, okay, it's an international competition, but it's not really a Champions League match. It was it was a difficult day for Barcelona fans based in Barcelona to go to the stadium. And on the other side, we had Eintracht fans, which are well known for being a real traveling fan base. They just go to all the away matches they can with their team, and of course Barcelona is always a suitable destination to go and see a football match with their team. You know, sun, good prices, good city, nice city, lots of things to do. I mean, it was pretty easy to know that they were coming in pack, you know, as a wolf pack, let's say. And yeah, what happened was that it was the same that happened with Galatasaray fans a few weeks ago, but just multiplied because it was bigger. It was the same that has happened in other Champions League matches in Barcelona. It was the same that happened back in 2017 with Supercopa, Spain Supercopa against Real Madrid, which was as well, the stadium was packed with Real Madrid fans. It was even harder for us to live with that. So it was just a chapter of the movie that we have been seeing the last years. It's a big problem. it's a big problem. Not only for safety reasons, of course, but mainly because our goal as a team, as a club, should be to have our own stadium, not the others, our own stadium full of our fans. So that would be the first goal we have to achieve. And I think we must have a deep revision of all the ticketing steps that we are taking, of all the behavior the Socios are having towards the assistants in the stadium, because as you said, many of them, I don't know the figures, of course, and I would say nobody does, but probably thousands of Socios, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, maybe.
So you think it's on the thousands, right? I would
Yeah, probably.
be guessing that it's high hundreds, right? So maybe a
Yeah,
thousand,
I would say thousands. I would say
because
because just taking the last milestone, let's say, which was Barcelona, Real Madrid, where Josep Maria Bartomeu ran an investigation on that kind of procedures from some socios. There were around 2,500 or so, and between 2 and 3,000, and it was a Barça Real Madrid. So I would say probably in Thursday's case, we would be around the same figures, with an additional pack of tickets, which was the 25 or 26,000 tickets that the club has in his hands now, and it's not used to have because it's something new for this year. At the beginning of the season, you may remember that the club offered to some socios the possibility of just not going to the stadium in the whole season because of COVID, because of the uncertainty of the
uncertainty,
situation.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
and many of them, as much as 26,000, they said, okay, just take my seat, use it the whole season. I reject it. I'm not going to use it, and do with it whatever you want. So the situation is the club has 26,000 tickets more to sell than it's used to, and
So
it's
so the
not
so
really
sorry
knowing
to
how to do
inter
it.
yeah, so the total ticketing that they control right now is this 26,000 plus how much, around another
Around
20,000?
50,000 seats, which has no season ticket holders. So
So
it's
that's the
around
total.
50,000.
That's the total, 50,000.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of tickets. That's a lot of tickets.
Yeah, and the club is not ready to sell 50,000 tickets or 40,000 tickets for each game because he's not used to. You have to keep in mind that in standard conditions, our stadium is filled with 84,000 season ticket holders, okay, and around 15,000 free tickets, which are owned by the club, okay. This is the amount of tickets that the club usually has to sell, so it's not used to sell 40,000 tickets. What happened this year is what I was telling, that due to COVID and uncertainty, 25,000 socios said, just take my seat, use it as you wish. So the club has 40,000 tickets for sale each game. What happens when a visiting team with such a passionate fan base as Frankfurt comes to Barcelona? Okay, they just buy everything they can.
Correct. Yeah, and so you would say that the board is directly responsible, I mean, or the ticketing department, which is controlled by the board, of course, because we saw it against Napoli, for example. There were a lot of Italians. I was there.
Yeah,
Against Turkey, as you said, against
it's the
Galatasaray,
same.
the same thing. And we were just waiting for this big event
Yeah,
until for us to do something, right? Okay, that this is thank you for the explanation. It's interesting. And your version is that there was a problem there, and because
mhm,
of the COVID, well, there were more than 25,000 tickets additionally to the 13,000 that they were for public sale. So this is the problem, that they weren't prepared to control this amount.
absolutely,
Interesting.
absolutely
So
not. As you say, against Napoli happened the same. Against Galatasaray happened the same. And I dare to say that previous years, I'm a season ticket holder, so I can speak by myself because I've seen that. We are always, we would say around 10, 15, 20,000 tourists at the stadium for each match, even a single La Liga match, a simple one. It's full of tourists, which is, I say, it's not bad. It's good because it's some revenue for the club, so it's good to have tourists there. But the difference between Thursday and other games was that when in a regular league match, the tourists come to the stadium, they come wearing, Frankie de Jong shirt or whatever, or Piqué shirt, or they come supporting Barcelona, or at least being neutral, which is which is kind of good. But in the case of Frankfurt, they of course came for supporting their team. That's the main difference. We are used to share the stadium with visitors, with tourists. It's perfectly fine for us. But what we are not used to is to share it with the visiting
Right,
team.
right,
Yes.
of course, and very they were very happy to be there. They were very motivated, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. Okay,
that's
so yes,
motivated. Yeah, motivated is the word.
that was the problem. Yeah, the third stand where I sit, it was an invasion, literally an
Yeah,
invasion.
absolutely.
All right, so we know what the problem was. I assume that the club is fixing it, but
Sure.
still even before this Frankfurt thing happened, and excluding the Europa League, we have been seeing a lot of low attendance to the games. Okay, so a normal league game, we're gonna see maybe 60,000
Yeah.
at max, including the away fans, including the tourists, and so on. So, what do you think are the factors that Barcelona are seeing this low attendance rates?
We don't have the real figures because they are not public or they are not shared by the club. But we, back in 2015, if I'm not wrong, we did in Manifest Blaugrana, we did a study about the attendance to the stadium, and we reached the conclusion that around 40% of the season ticket holders were not attending to the games as an average. Of course, it's not always the same 40%. I mean, it's kind of
Right.
addition one, but there were around 57,000 ticket holders that were regularly in the stadium. But the difference between that and the 84,000 ticket holders was the part that was not assisting to the stadium. How we know that, or how we knew that? We know that because we used to have a mechanism which was the Seient Lliure, you may know,
Yeah.
which is the mechanism by which a season holder can free his seat just to give it to the club and allow the club to resell it to another buyer. And this Seient Lliure worked about, it was an average of 25 tickets per game. So the club had the ability of getting back 25 season ticket holder seats for each game. And that gives
25
us the figure.
25,000
Yeah,
25,000. Okay,
yeah,
25,000.
in average, yeah. That
That's
gives
a
us the
lot.
figure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. So that means that 25,000 season ticket holders were not attending the stadium. Of course, I repeat, it was not the same men in the same games, but it's kind of the global figure. So knowing that, we must face the problem. And the problem is we have 60% of the season ticket holders taking advantage of their season ticket holders. What happens to the rest? Why are they not coming to the stadium? Because that's a problem for the club because they are blocking some seats that could be sold to other FC Barcelona fans or could be sold to public market or whatever, but they could be used and they are blocking that. And that's a big issue in Barcelona, which has never been addressed and it's kind of a chronicle problem. It's not new. It comes from years and years and years ago. In times of, I don't know your age, but I'm quite old. I'm 40. So I've been going to the stadium since I was 10, and I've seen the stadium with 30, 40,000 attendances in the beginning of 2000 in the Joan Gaspar era, which was kind of, we were just drowning and it was absolutely sad. So it's a chronicle problem. It happens always, and it happens when the club is not running or the first team is not running as good as we would like. Attendance drops. That's kind of it works that way, and it's quite sad.
Right. So yeah, for being 40, you look very very nice, very young, man. In fact,
Thanks,
I
appreciate
would
it.
I would have said you were like 35 or something.
39, say 39.
I would have given you maybe 36 or something. All right,
Thanks.
no. So there's the chronicle problem with the season pass. I know that the season pass, it's since you get it, it's like they get it away from you, like you give it up pretty much when you die. It is very sad, but it's pretty much when you die, that's when you lose the pass.
And not even there, because you can just your heirs can get it from you.
Right, so you can give it as heritage, right?
Yeah,
And but we know that to have one, to become an official season pass holder from the club, so you need 5 years of age as a member,
much
right?
more, much more. There
But
are
then
currently
but then but then there is the list, no, the waiting list,
yeah,
right? Can
there
you
are
explain a
currently
little bit how this works?
yeah. Currently there's a 10,000 socios list which are waiting for a season ticket. and the expected time to be waiting is around 50 years, not 15, 50. Why is that? Because the allocation of season tickets per year is around 200 tickets per year. So just run the numbers, and it's 50 years. And on the other side, with under Bartomeu direction, there was a mechanism by which you could pay. I think it was around 3 or 5 years. I don't remember, of paying the quota of socio, and then you could get access to a specific type of season ticket, which was not including all the games. It was fed up with all the tickets that were free for each game. It was kind of a mix. It was not an official season ticket. Okay, so let's say for a standard official season ticket, such as the one as I might have, there's a list, 10,000 members on the list, and you have to wait around 50 years. Okay, that will be partially solved if we build a bigger stadium, sure. But on the other side of the balance, you can see, okay, why there are people waiting for a season ticket and the stadium is not packed? I mean, that's kind of a contradiction, and
Right.
that's the thing that I guess the club must put its effort on, because that's the biggest problem.
Right. Yeah. So, wow, I didn't know you had to wait 50 years approximately if you get into the queue now. That is, they need to fix this. Certainly, they need to
Sure.
fix it. All these people that are not attending the game and they have a season pass, they just need to make room. Or even if they are selling the pass, so this is a big problem. So
Yeah,
basically, it's not. It's as you said before. It's not a problem of the main of this board that is just now. It's a problem
absolutely
that's
not.
been it's chronicle. It's been there for years and years and years and years. And wow, this is something that's not going to be
We
fixed
know,
in a couple
Alex, we know
days.
pretty well why is it a problem, and where it comes from. I mean, it's basically a matter that the season ticket in FC Barcelona is the cheapest in Europe at the top level, and you can get a season ticket standard prices. The current ones, the average will be around 800 euros or so. The average, so that includes season tickets from 300, let's say, or 400, season tickets up to 1,500 or so. So let's say the average is 750. Let's say, okay, and on those 750 you have everything included, everything. If you consider that a single Barça Real Madrid match, a ticket can be up to 300, 400 euros, the way of thinking of many ticket holders, season ticket holders, is okay. I pay the 750 of the whole season ticket. I don't care about Barça Celta de Vigo, Barça Rayo Vallecano, Barça Sevilla. I just care about Barça Real Madrid, Barça Atlético de Madrid, and a couple of Champions League match. And all the other games, they're included in my season ticket, but I'm not going there. So it's kind of, and I'm not saying that the solution is to raise the price, but the solution probably has something to do with giving the value it has to the season ticket, because currently it's not really valued.
Right. So there's a lot of socios who are just attending important
Yeah,
games, and when the team needs you the most is when there is low attendance, right? And that's the not so
we have
important
today.
games.
We have a match against Cadiz Monday 9 p.m. And Monday, last day on Easter holidays in Barcelona, 9 p.m. I would say 60,000 fans attendance, no more, no more. There are
Right.
30,000 missing.
Yeah, definitely. This is exactly the problem that went on Thursday, right? It
Yeah,
was
the
it was
same
the
missing.
beginning of the holidays. It was pretty much the same. Hopefully, anyways, people are going to see this after the Cadiz game, so they will know. But hopefully the Cadiz are not as mobilized. They don't.
They are not.
I don't think they're going to come
They are not,
30,000
because
Cadiz fans.
they can't pay the 150 euros that a ticket costs,
Right.
and Frankfurt fans can. That's another reality we must face.
Right.
International fans or Central European fans can pay much more money than local fans can. So that's a reality that's always in the equation, and we have to face it.
True. So, all right. So, basically, what do you believe that they should be done? Which changes do you think that they should be applied? For example, on the ticketing system, so we have more attendance, because we
Yeah.
know that there is a chronicle problem there, and certainly the tickets are high priced as well. But what do you think we should be doing? What do you think this board should be doing? What
I think
proposals do you have?
the first step we should take as a club is, okay, if we understand and we accept that we have 84,000 season ticket holders, first step is, okay, let's respect them, but let's ask them to respect us as well. Okay? If you are holding a season ticket, your obligation is to come to the games. And if you're not coming to the games, I'm sorry, I'm deeply sorry, but I have to give you some kind of penalty, whatever it is, raising the price or decreasing your possibilities of accessing finals tickets or whatever. But I have to set a system by which you have to come to the stadium as a season ticket, because otherwise you will get penalized. Okay. Second step that we should do after that, because that would bring a lot of the season tickets to the stadium once again. Second step would be, okay, if you are not able to come, which is we can understand, your seat must be allocated to another socio, to another Barcelona socio. Why is that? Because at the end of the day, socios are paying a fee, a yearly fee, and they have the right to access in a preference way to some tickets to the stadium. So if a season ticket holder cannot come to the stadium, please grant that this ticket is handed to a socio of the club. Okay. Third step, to guarantee all of that, of course, nominal tickets, absolutely unavoidable. All the tickets and all the season passes and any ticket that grants you access to the stadium must be under your name, and you need an access control to the stadium. I'm sorry, because I know these kind of measures are a pain in the ass, honestly. They are so annoying, and I know it, and they are not pleasant. But we need them, because otherwise we are not really using tickets or season tickets as well as we should. So the club must put some measures on it. And yeah, temporarily it will be annoying, but after 5, 10, 15 matches, we will get used to it, and it will be easy. And we will grant that the stadium is full and packed of FC Barcelona fans, which is, at the end of the day, I think it should be the aim.
It should be the aim, definitely. So if we do have the season pass nominative and the ticketing as well, do you think the public sale tickets should be nominative as well?
Absolutely.
Right.
Because otherwise what usually happens is that somebody buys a ticket and resells it. That's kind of usual.
Exactly.
You buy a ticket for
yeah.
€100 and resell it on the black market, on the second-hand market, for 500. It's kind of usual.
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
I was telling, I'm totally used to, if you walk around the stadium in a standard match a couple of hours before, you will still see, it's a figure from the past, but there still exist those resellers that they are just walking around the stadium. Do you want tickets? Do you want tickets? Do you want tickets? It's kind of useful.
Really it is. So but there is a problem, right? So there is 50 years until somebody can get a season pass, right? If somebody becomes a socio, etc., 50 years. And what if I want to become a season pass holder? Is there any way I can become a season pass holder myself? I know right now, for the people, I am renting it at a cost price. So I'm paying exactly what he's paying, because it's the friend of a family friend. And I'm paying the cost price, and the pass is on his name, basically. But I go in, and I've been doing this for years now. If it's nominative, then I'm going to be out. I won't be able to attend, and I'm there every game. If we want more attendance, then how can we fix this? And is it an easy fix?
Very easy. First, at the moment, as a club, you take the step of putting or checking the identity of everyone that gets into the stadium. Before that step, you must ensure that each season ticket holder is the one who is getting to the stadium. So give the chance to the guy that is renting you out the ticket, the season ticket. Give him the chance at no cost and with no further explanation to put the ticket under your name, to put the season ticket under your name.
For that season.
Yours.
Yeah, for a season. No, it's like loaning the pass for a season.
Yeah.
Look, I
it will belong yours. It will become yours for that season. Okay. First step. Second step. It's quite common. I'm a season ticket holder, and it's quite common that I just leave it. I borrow it to my sister or to a friend.
You lend it. Yeah.
I lend it to my sister or whoever I want. I mean, it's kind of usual, or somebody at work or whatever, because I cannot go to the game. Okay, just here's the ticket, and you can go in my name. And it's quite usual. So grant the socios and the season ticket holders this right as well, which is pretty easy. We are living in 2022. I mean, we have apps, we have So a fluid communication with the club, we can easily set up some kind of app or form or whatever to inform the club that with my season ticket, that guy will be attending the game. Of course, you have to limit that because otherwise you will be in the same problem. That each game I will be changing the name and no, it's Mr. Klaus from Frankfurt who is going. No, okay. I can have a friend in Germany who is called Klaus and he's from Frankfurt. It can be, yeah, it can happen, of course, but I have to limit that because otherwise people here is, we call it picaresca in Spain, which is kind of okay.
Cheeky,
I
yeah.
know the frame of the rules, and now my efforts are devoted to find the holes of these rules and how can I skip them. So let's be a little bit flexible on that. But that would be, I think that would be the most, not tricky, but the most interesting part of the new package of measures would be to keep the rights that the season ticket holders have and just keep them, and at the same time grant that the use they are doing of the season tickets is right, and at the same time, each standard ticket that is bought on the ticket sales boxes, that is under the name of the one who is buying, because otherwise there are lots of tourist operators, lots of people, lots of individuals that buy 2, 3, 5, 10 tickets and resell them to whoever pays more for them. So just put them under the name of the guy who is going to the stadium. Check the identity on the gate. It can be easily done today. I mean, it's not. I've attended to some concerts and they are doing that because of safety reasons. They just check your ID. It's okay. It's the same picture, same name, ticket under the same name. Okay, you can get in. It's just a matter of 5 seconds, 7 seconds. It's not. It's not
No,
crazy.
I agree with you in terms of security. Talking about security, the other day against Frankfurt, especially in the third stand, where was the security? What happened? Do you think
Oh,
they were overcome? Like there was too many.
absolutely. Absolutely. And once again, for the same reason, because we are used to have 70,000 Barcelona fans in the stadium, no security issues. We know ourselves pretty well. We are not a conflictive fan base. Our stadium is one of, not the safest, but one of the most peaceful in the world, I would say. So our safety staff is not used to certain things, and they are guys from, I don't know, they would be 18, 20, 25 years old. I mean, they're young guys which are not ready or not prepared to face some kind of issues because it's not their standard job. Okay,
Correct.
so that was a big part of the game, seeing people with bottles or with bengals or with some. I reported, I saw some report of a knife even. So it was kind of everything out of the line, and we are not used to that, and our security staff wasn't either.
Right. So it's certainly a deep problem in terms of the season pass holders. The ticketing, I think that we can fix it. That's
Yeah,
the
pretty easy.
easiest part. But at the end of the day, next year, once the season pass holders return to the stadium, so hopefully this COVID thing, the uncertainty, I think it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't start the war here in Catalonia or in Spain.
Let's hope
We
not.
leave it, yeah. And but that problem, that 85,000 season pass holders, the problem is still going to be there,
Yeah,
and
you have to bring them to the stadium.
you have to bring them to the stadium.
That's
And
the most, I would say, from my perspective, being having been part of an elections team of a candidaturas, ¿cómo se llama? Candidatura
candidatura is candidacy,
of a
candidacy.
candidacy. Having been part of a candidacy, and especially in the social part, that was the most attractive part of the story. How can I bring back the season ticket holders to the stadium? Because we know for a fact that they are not coming in full. So
Mhm.
how can we bring them back? And probably the thing is, give them something more of the fact of coming to a stadium. Give them some daily activities. Give them some restaurants, some outdoors activities. Give them a reason to come to the stadium. And on the same side, as much as I can please you with new services, I will penalize you if you are not using that, because it's not reasonable for you to hold a season ticket and come 2 games a year. That's not reasonable. So I must penalize you, either being by raising your price, either by limiting your access. Maybe I could do, I don't know if it's legal, but maybe the club could say, okay, you are not coming to more than 75% of the games. So automatically the big games, the A class games, are banned from your season ticket. Why not?
Why not?
then your season ticket loses all the sense.
That's very interesting. I think they should be applying. So, in order to change something like that, do we need to go through like a referendum and stuff like that,
Not
or
really, not really. It's
no?
just up to the board to decide, because it's not regulated on the statutes of the club. It's
Okay.
just let's say a contract between the season hold ticket holder and the club, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just to change that contract. The club can change. Let's not forget one thing, Alex, which is kind of important, and because people tend to think that a season ticket holder owns the seat, and that's not true. The city is not hers or his. The city is owned by the club. It's the club that's renting you that seat. So at any moment, the club can say, "Okay, I'll cut you. I will stop that rent at any moment
Interesting.
because the city
Interesting.
is from the club.
So how long is the rent? Is it 20, 25 years, something
It's
like that?
yearly. It's yearly. It's
It's
yearly,
yearly.
renewable automatically, and of course, it's not the club. I mean, at any point, the club could say, "Okay, I will stop the season ticket system. I will just stop it." Of course, you will have a revolution, a social revolution. You will have a motion, a vote of no confidence. You will lose it, and you will be just removed from the board. That's 100% sure. But they could do it because the city is from the club.
Right. It's certainly very delicate, right? And for example, Laporta or no Bartomeu or all these presidents, they are certainly careful with this matter
Of course,
because the season
that's a
pass
vote.
holders they are the ones who go vote, right?
Yeah, that's a
Talking
vote.
about this, right? It's a vote. It's a vote. So
Absolutely.
yeah, wow, it's a
Are you
difficult
are you
matter,
going
very
to
delicate.
stress out, or are you going to push a little bit more than you should a voter? If you do not in a city council elections, will you in FC Barcelona elections? That's the nice part of being a democratic club, that the board is linked to do certain things not to upset the voters, and you have to deal with that.
Right. That's wow. That's certainly. Although now the next elections are around 3 years from now. No,
Yeah.
Laporta has been already for 1 year, so it's in 3 years from now. Maybe a change now could be risky, but
Well,
if the result is
I will not
positive,
do that because the vote
right?
of no confidence, it would be just 5
Oh,
minutes
right,
away.
right. You have the vote of no confidence, of course. They
Absolutely.
can come for you.
Yeah.
That's yeah. For the ones who don't know, by the way, Mark was involved in the Victor Font candidacy. You were joining in the social sphere as well,
Yeah.
right?
I
So
was the head
yeah,
of
so
social.
we have the right man here. In fact, yeah, I think I interviewed Victor Font during his campaign. Very valid candidate, very valid
Yeah.
candidate. But yeah, the voters they do have they choose and
So it
the
works.
result. That's how it works. In fact, I think Victor Font did pretty well in the elections for being a newcomer. Let's say like he
Yeah,
did a
I agree.
very strong campaign. The one thing that he did well is that he started very early because he
Yeah.
was new. A lot of people knew him already, and but yeah, at the end of the day, it's elections. The democracy, it's what it is. And since Laporta's arrival, there's been some moves and stuff. How do you see the game, the team overall, like the game of the team as well? Xavi, how do you see the future? And I know this season is pretty hard. I think titles are going to be difficult, but
Yeah.
how do you see the team so far?
I used to say the less worried the part that less worries me of the club nowadays is the pitch. I mean, I'm 100% confident on both on Xavi and Mateo Alemania and Laporta sports team because they've been proven right. I mean, they are doing. I think it's a fantastic job. They've just. We need to remember where we were because we were with a roster in the first team that was it was depressed. I mean, we were just facing games with no expectations at all because the players themselves were just with no expectations. They were just there to play the game and go home. And I think Xavi changed that, gave them some illusion, some new hopes, let's say, and that brings us a lot of joy, a lot of life. So and the team is playing remarkably well in some games, and we're running in a kind of on the downsize for the past 2 or 3 games, but I think it's normal. It's part of evolution, so I'm not really concerned or worried about that. I was not expecting anything from this season at all, If we are finishing second, that's a pretty good result. It was painful to lose Europa League because once we are there, okay, let's win it. But yeah, I would say I'm confident in the future, 100% confident. Xavi is the man. I'm absolutely sure about that. I think we just signed him a little bit later. He should have been signed on summer, but anyway, it's done. And I'm not worried at all about the football side of the business. Absolutely not.
Cool, me neither, to be honest. As you said, Xavi is the man. I have full trust in him. He's gonna take the team in the good path. In terms of sacking of Koeman, I think that Laporta just didn't have. Was thinking maybe if I sack him now, then I'm gonna have to pay this penalty, right? What if Koeman suddenly fixes the season?
Yeah, what if? What if?
Yeah, what if took us to 10th position
Exactly.
and we had to fire Koeman right away, right?
That was, I mean, I think we all knew that it was something that was going to happen at a certain point. We do not know the point, but it was pretty clear. Look, I was fortunately enough, I have some contact with some journalists in Barcelona. We've became friends in the last years, and so, and one of them just made me, that kind of question that allows you to, oh, whoops, yep, I have seen the light. And the question was, do you think Koeman is the future coach for Barcelona? And the answer was pretty clear in 2 seconds. It was no. He's not the future of Barcelona. Then sack him. It's not the future. The future is Xavi, and we knew that. So we were not able to build a future with Koeman. Not because he's good or bad. He's not as good as he should, but he was not the future. The future was Xavi. So let's start build the future now. And that was I think that's the only thing that has been done wrongly in Laporta second
Mandate, yeah.
mandate. But okay, it's done. Xavi fixed things pretty well, so we are second in La Liga. We stuck there with Frankfurt, but he's performing quite well, so we're satisfied.
Yeah, I have full trust. In terms of, you mentioned Mateo Alemany as well. I think certainly Mateo Alemany has been a key
Solid guy,
person. As well, obviously Jordi Cruyff, Xavi, like it's three of them, right? Jordi Cruyff, Xavi, and Mateo Alemany who are doing the signings. I think that the transfer markets have been very well executed in terms of departures and in terms of arrivals. So we've seen Griezmann going to Atletico on a loan, but it's pretty much being sold.
You get rid of him, which was the important thing.
Yeah, he's not gonna come back. Coutinho being loaned out with this offer of 40 million euros.
Of a sale. Yeah, it looks
like.
Yeah,
I think honestly, I think Coutinho is gonna be sold.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe not 40 million. Maybe they decline and we enter.
If we push a little bit, we can make 40. It's Premier League. There are loads of money, so let's push.
Yeah. Just. And then bringing Aubameyang, Adama, etc. But and then from out of the nothing, we signed Ferran Torres. I don't know the economics. Maybe we can ask this Twitter guy from Real Madrid called Alvarez Demon or something. He is an expert in economics apparently, and he can say if the transfer is valid or not. No, I'm just joking. He's a jokester. He doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy, But yeah, I think things are going on the good path, and right now I'm just confident that the team is in good hands. Obviously, the blow against Frankfurt really hurt. Really hurt, because not only they invaded us, but they were 3-0 up at one point.
The thing we are not talking about, or we've not been talking about, is the result, and it was a painful result. Because honestly, we got to be honest, they were superior in the whole game. I mean, we were not able to face them, and that's something that we must work on, because I would say it's a step back, that we have to swallow it. It's fine. It's a step back. Now let's try to do a couple of steps forward, but it's a good lesson we have to learn of. And the point of losing a competition that you might win for the first time in your history, you've never had it. I know it's a second tier competition, I know it, but you're playing that, so let's try to win. It's painful, it's painful. and it was the option or the opportunity to not closing the season without any major title, and which was always also good. But once again, I try to focus myself on where were we coming from. We were coming from an absolute devastation in sports level. I mean, it was our team was not going anywhere. So if we reach March, April fighting for one or two competitions for this season, it's good. Of course, next season the level raises, and we are expecting to get in Champions League. Of course, go through the group stage and get probably to at least quarterfinals, at least. And that's Barcelona. Expectations are always high, so we have to match them.
Right. So I only see two problems in regards of us getting out of the Europa League. First of all, we don't get any titles
Yeah,
unless we clinch La Liga right now. It's going to
quite
be no
hard.
titles. And the second thing is that we won't be in the pot number one
Yeah,
of the Champions League draw next season, which is in
yeah,
terms
kind
of
of tricky. Yeah, kind of
it's going
tricky,
to be
but
tricky, right? But so now it's going to depend on the rankings of the UEFA for us to be in the pot
the
number
last,
two.
I think it's last 5 years position or something like that. But yeah,
I
it's
think
quite likely
our yeah
we will be in pot number two, quite likely.
yeah
Which of course it's not good, but
it's not the worst. It's not the
no,
worst. You
we're
can be
not.
in pot three, and then it's a
Yeah, of
devastation.
course.
Then it's a disaster. But yeah, so I think we covered a lot. You explained very well what you think the problem was, and you went actually into getting some insights of the problem, and also talked about some solutions. Obviously, this cannot be solved in just a talk of 40 minutes between me and you, but
Absolutely not.
but
Unfortunately
yeah,
not.
unfortunately not, and
But I hope it
it's
helps because we're
of course.
trying to offer some ideas, some solutions from the outside, and probably some things that are hard to do by the club. And I can understand that they are hard, but some decision must be taken because the if we take no step, if we make no decision at all, we will face the same problem within 7 months when another European game comes to Barcelona. And we will have the same problem, exactly the same. We have to take some steps.
Really. So thanks a lot, Mark, for obviously for your time, for willing to join us here on this talk. Very interesting. I think that you can provide a lot. Maybe you can join the board or the club anytime. I'm sure that that probably you will at some point. No, if you're there, you were involved in some candidacies. Maybe it wasn't just your time. Maybe in the future,
Who
or
knows?
yeah, or maybe just from the outside, and talks
Yeah,
like
that's
this.
wherever you can. You
Yeah,
can
just
you can just bring knowledge or solutions or whatever you can from wherever you can. Even you as a content creator or whatever the tech is, and we are all from our side, from our position, offering things to the club by providing knowledge, providing visibility, providing more access to the fans or whatever. We are all making that bigger, and I think that's the nice part of it all, to just try to make our club, which we all love, a little bit bigger than it is.
right. Just give or grain of salt, to the team. So thanks again, Marc Duch. It's been a
Thank
true
you.
pleasure to talk with you. There's a lot of insights. There's a lot of experience there, knowledge that has been nice. I'm sure the subscribers here in Blaugrana Planet have appreciated the talk. Where can they find you on the social networks? On Twitter,
I
probably.
basically I basically work on Twitter.
Cool.
My nickname is Doug Mark, just the surname and name.
Right.
But I basically work there because I have no Instagram, no Facebook. I mean, just focused on Twitter because I'm not really a social network guy, but I
Mhm.
know that at least one is needed to speak out.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, I'll be leaving the Twitter link on the description so you guys can find and follow Mark. And thank you very much for everyone, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Important you guys do, and smash the like button. Important. And this is the beginning of something, Mark. So thank you very much, and see you maybe another time.
Yeah, whenever you want. Absolutely thrilled to be part of your channel, of your YouTube channel. It's been great. Thank you all your subscribers and all your followers. just for watching this. And yeah, sure, we'll have another occasion.
Perfect. And now, and as I always say, visca el Barça, visca Catalunya, and see you in the next video.